Pro mode. So you have a nice new phone like the Galaxy S20 or even the Ultra, and you want to get the most out of your photos, we're going to turn on Pro mode. This is going to do two things. We're going to swipe to the right. It's going to give you more settings as well as let you take raw pictures. So you're going to click and drag and pull it down, move it where you want it. We already have it enabled, and you'd press save, but we're going to press back and then swipe over to the Pro mode. So here's where all the settings will pop up right above the Pro icon. On the left, you have ISO. This is going to be like your gain. It's to increase and decrease brightness. We're going to generally leave these on auto unless we're doing something specific. Shutter speed, how fast your shutter. Higher is going to lower light, and then increased light when you're taking long exposure. Standard is where you're going to change some colors. I usually don't touch any of this too much, especially the colors. Autofocus, this did help me one time when I was trying to take a picture of a flower, and generally it's left on auto. There's some issues with the Ultra, but we won't really talk about that too much. So the white balance, this is a little more forgiving for raw pictures. You can generally people say you can change it afterwards, but with JPEGs you want to tune it in a little bit better to make sure that white balance isn't too off. And then EV is your last setting. You can go -2, make dark pictures, or +2, say you're taking pictures of snow and you want it to be overexposed, you want things to be bright. You can just turn this up and kind of leave everything else on auto, and you're going to have that ability to do that. So we'll talk about exposure potentially in another video. It's a little mini series. But the second thing we wanted was raw picture. So up at the left, we'll have the gear icon, and you need to enable this under the save options. This is turned off, but when you turn it off, it'll take JPEGs and RAW pictures. So a JPEG is about 2 megabytes versus a RAW, which is somewhere around 20. So you're going to get a lot more detail. This is super beneficial when editing. So if you take a picture and you got some shadows, you can actually bring out a lot of those shadows with good detail, whereas in a JPEG, it'll be just destroyed. And the same thing with highlights, blown out skies. You get a lot more to do with editing in, say, Lightroom, which will also potentially go into another video. So you get a lot more settings with Pro Mode, as well as take raw pictures, which is just super beneficial. We have a couple other settings at the top. You got your flash, and then you have your auto timer in the middle at the top. And then you have your aspect ratio 3:4. You can change it to 9:16. And this is where your 108 megapixel is actually in your regular photo mode, but not in the Pro mode, sadly. You should contact Samsung and request that, like I did, but we'll see how that goes in the future if they update it. Here is your focusing spot metering. You can change that. I haven't got too much into that, but that could be pretty useful. So you got a nice new phone. Definitely open up Pro mode. It's very useful. It's how I'm taking all my pictures. It's a little more fun if you're into the hobby side of just editing things too. It's just more to do with some really cool pictures. So with that, again, we'll probably be doing some more videos, mini series videos, but